When the whole world was running after electric vehicles, when Tesla, BYD, and other companies were trying to beat each other in the EV race, Honda has made such a move that has shaken the foundation of the entire EV industry. Honda has made such an engine that is being discussed in the entire global market. Now the question is, has Honda really made something that will force battery-operated cars to think? Is the dream of EV about to end now? And what is so special about this engine that is making it a game-changer for the whole world? This is not just any ordinary engine. This is the hybrid monster of the future, which is a combination of both petrol power and electric efficiency. No hassle of charging, no tension of battery, only strong performance, low fuel cost, and long range. So now the question arises, should Elon Musk be afraid? Are big companies like BYD going to have sleepless nights? In this video, we will tell you the whole truth about Honda's revolutionary engine, its technology, the thinking behind it, and how it can change the entire EV world. So before you move ahead in the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first to see such amazing updates. Before knowing about that new engine of Honda, let's know a little about Honda. So let's go back a little to the time when the speed of cars and bikes had just started in the world, and Japan was moving towards a big technological revolution. There was a man in that era, Soichiro Honda. He was not the son of a very rich father, but belonged to a poor family. But he had a passion to make something that would change the world. He left his studies, but his love for engineering never diminished. At a young age, he started working in a car garage, and from there began Honda's journey. Initially, Soichiro Honda started making piston rings, but kept failing again and again. But he did not give up. After facing rejections many times, his products finally caught the attention of Japanese companies. Then came the Second World War, which ruined everything. The factory was destroyed. The situation worsened, but Honda showed courage once again. After the war, when everything was over, Soichiro Honda started installing motors in bicycles, and from there, Honda Motor Company was born. This was not a big start. It was just an idea that was made bigger with hard work. Slowly, Honda started making motorcycles, and that too, such that it was not only cheap, but also durable and powerful. Honda Super Cub came in 1958, and this bike created a stir not only in Japan, but in the whole world. It sold so much that even today, it is counted among the best-selling motorcycles in the world. And from here, Honda gained momentum. After this, Honda entered the world of vehicles. They started making cars in the 1960s, and in 1972, Honda Civic entered the market. An affordable, reliable, and fuel-efficient car that became the choice of every middle-class family. Then came Honda Accord, which left Honda's mark in the US and European markets. People understood that Honda means the name of trust. The special thing about Honda was that they never made cars just for show. They put technology, mileage, low maintenance, and customer needs at the top. This is the reason why names like Honda Activa and Honda City have become a household name even in a country like India. As the world changed, Honda also changed itself. They tried their hand at hybrid cars, worked on hydrogen fuel cell technology, and even made air taxis and robots. Yes, they did seem a little behind other companies in the EV race, but the step they have taken now with the hybrid engine can surprise everyone. Today, Honda is not just a car company. It is a brand, a name of trust. People from every class in every corner of the world have driven Honda cars. And it all started with the dream of one man, Soichiro Honda, who used to repair cars himself. Now that they have presented this new engine to the world, it is important to know the history, because when someone who started from zero brings something new, then understand that something big is about to happen. So let's know now what is there in this new engine of Honda that can shake the EV industry. How is this engine different from all the others? Now the biggest question is, why is this new engine of Honda so different from other engines? Is there really something in it that is going to give sleepless nights to EV companies like Tesla? And if it is just a hybrid engine, then why is there so much commotion about it? So, let's get straight to the point now, and without beating around the bush, let us tell you why this Honda engine is called hyper hybrid and how far ahead it is from all other engines. First of all, This engine is not a normal hybrid engine like you might have seen in Toyota or old Honda cars. This hyper-hybrid technology is based on a completely new idea. It has a combination of petrol engine and electric motor. But the coordination created between these two is amazing. Usually hybrid vehicles either run only in EV mode or in petrol mode, but this Honda engine runs both of them together like all the instruments in a music team play at the right time. This engine uses the EEV system, which is Honda's latest innovation. It has a powerful 2.0-liter Atkinson cycle petrol engine, and two electric motors are attached to it. One motor drives the car, and the other only charges the battery. But the special thing is that the car runs on electric motor most of the time. Petrol engine is activated only when needed, i.e. at high speed or during fast acceleration. This saves fuel, battery gets charged automatically, and driving remains very smooth. Now talking about power, this engine gives an output of about 184 horsepower. That is so much power that you can drive it without hesitation, even on the highway, and can also drive it without any jerk in the city traffic. And now the most important thing, mileage. So listen, the mileage of this engine can go up to 20 to 28 kilometers per liter. That too in real-world conditions. That is the mileage that you get from a small diesel car. You will now get that much mileage from a hybrid petrol car. And that too without any hassle of charging. But the matter does not end here. The most special innovation in this engine is its intelligent power management system. This system itself decides when to run the car in electric mode, when to turn on the petrol engine, and when to run both simultaneously. This means that the driver does not need to do anything. Everything happens automatically. Just drive, and the technology will take care of you. Now another interesting thing in normal hybrid vehicles, either the engine is put under load to charge the battery, or it is charged by braking energy. But the regenerative braking system in Honda's hyper-hybrid engine is so powerful that just by applying brakes, the battery gets charged to a great extent. This means that the battery is always getting recharged while driving. Now, if you are thinking that it will need charging, then no. Honda has designed it in such a way that it never needs to be plugged in. This means neither the hassle of installing a charger at home nor the tension of finding a charging station. And this is the reason why it is also being called a self-sustained hybrid system. Another special thing about this engine is its noise management system. In normal petrol or diesel vehicles, when the engine runs, there is noise. But in this hyper-hybrid engine of Honda, the noise is very low. This engine is so silent that you will feel as if you are driving an EV. And even when the petrol engine is on, it has such a refined sound that it feels good to the ears. It does not hurt. Not just technology, Honda has also paid special attention to the design and aerodynamics of the vehicles with this hyper-hybrid engine. The new vehicles that are coming with this, like Honda Accord Hybrid, are so light and aerodynamically efficient that they can cover more distance in less fuel. This also makes the performance of this engine even better. Now, if you think that this technology will be expensive, then you will be surprised to know that Honda has brought this engine for the mass market. That is for those who were not able to buy EV, because EV is expensive or there is no charging facility. This has emerged as a perfect option for them. Neither the cost of changing the battery, nor the tension of charging, and no wastage of fuel. And finally, if we talk about why this engine is going to give tension to other companies, then the reason for that is that Honda has created such a system which has a feel like EV, power like petrol, and mileage is no less than a diesel car. That is the benefits of all three together and no disadvantages. While Tesla, BYD, and other EV companies are busy building charging networks, Honda has given a system that charges itself and runs like an EV. The biggest weakness of EV and how Honda has solved it. Now, let's talk about the thing which is the biggest concern of the entire EV industry today, and because of which millions of people still hesitate to buy an electric vehicle. We are talking about the three biggest weaknesses of EV, and it is really interesting to know how Honda has solved all these problems through its new engine. So the first and the biggest problem is charging time. Even though EV vehicles look modern, are full of technology, but when it comes to charging, EV is still far behind. Imagine if you are in a hurry somewhere, and your car's battery runs out, then you may have to waste 1 to 2 hours in charging that too if you get a fast charger. And if slow charging is required, it can take the whole night. Now tell me who will charge the car for so long every day. Now let's move on to Honda's new Hyper Hybrid engine. You don't have to worry about charging in this. No need to install a charging point at home, no hassle of finding a charging station. This Honda engine automatically charges the battery while running, and when more power is needed, the petrol engine becomes active. That is, it does not stop, does not slow down, just keep going. This is the reason why this engine is best for those who travel long distances or live in cities where EV charging infrastructure is still weak. The second big problem is battery degradation. The battery of an EV is not a mobile phone battery that is cheap. It costs lakhs of rupees, and with every charge-discharge cycle, its performance gradually falls. That is after 3 years, your EV does not perform as it used to when it was new. Sometimes, replacing the battery is so expensive that people think, let's just buy a new car. Now, that is not a wise thing to do, is it? Honda's Hyper Hybrid engine has a great solution to this problem. It uses the battery in a smart way because it has a dual motor system. One motor is only for charging the battery, so the battery never gets overloaded. Also, the balance of the petrol engine and the electric motor works so well that there is no extra pressure on the battery, meaning longer battery life, less maintenance and savings too. The third and perhaps the least understood problem is the performance of EVs drops in cold places. EVs have lithium-ion batteries, and the truth is that these batteries do not work well in cold places. The battery range can drop by 30–40% in winter. That is, if your EV runs 300 km on a single charge in summer, then the same vehicle will run only 180 to 200 km in winter. And this is the reason why people in snowy areas are afraid of EV. Honda's Hyper Hybrid system has also ended this tension. Because when the temperature drops and the battery performance decreases, then the petrol engine takes over the entire responsibility, meaning whether it snows or hails, your vehicle will never stop. And this is why this hybrid system is perfect for every season. Now think of one more thing. If there is a village or a small town where there are no charging stations, how will the EV run there? In such a situation, Honda's Hyper Hybrid engine can prove to be a big gift because it has petrol as well as the fun of electric, and the battery keeps charging automatically. Apart from this, Honda has also provided regenerative braking in it. That is, whenever you apply brakes, this system stores that energy in the battery. This makes the battery charging even more smart and increases the range of the car. That too, without putting much load on the engine. The most special thing about this Hyper Hybrid system is that it is user-friendly. There is no need to press any button, no need to change any mode. The car itself decides when to activate which system, and this is what takes it ahead of other hybrid vehicles. Currently, in the world of EV issues, like charging facility, cost of battery replacement, and falling performance in winters, remain big obstacles. But Honda has struck a balance that gives you the benefits of EV technology and the power of a petrol engine. And the best part, you don't have to look for a plug, worry about charging time, or worry about battery life. That means Honda has solved the 3 biggest problems of EV in one go. How will its cost and maintenance be compared to an EV? Now, let's talk about the question that comes to every car buyer's mind. I will buy the car, but how much will it cost? And this is where Honda's new Hyper Hybrid engine wins people's hearts, because compared to the cost of buying an EV, this engine is really emerging as a very cheap and intelligent option. First of all, let's talk about the price of EV today. To buy a good EV, you may have to spend at least Rs 15 to 20 lakh, or even more. And if you take an EV from an international brand like Tesla or BYD, then this price goes up to $30,000 to $60,000. On the other hand, if you look at a hybrid car in the same segment, such as Honda Accord Hybrid or Honda Civic Hybrid, then it is available at a lower price than EV, meaning you are getting almost the same technology and comfortable ride, but at a lesser price. Now there is another cost that people forget. The EV charging setup. If you are charging a hybrid car at home, if you get a charging point installed, the cost of its wiring, installation, and electricity can cost you from Rs 50,000 to Rs 1 leg. And if you charge the vehicle at a fast charging station, then there too, you have to pay a separate fee for each charging. On the contrary, Honda's hyper-hybrid engine is such that it does not need to be charged. It also uses less petrol, and the battery gets charged automatically while the vehicle is running. That means neither the hassle of charging at home nor the tension of finding a public charger. Now, let's talk about the biggest expense: EV battery replacement. Batteries of EV vehicles are not cheap. If the battery ever gets damaged or its performance starts declining, it can cost up to Rs 7 lakh to get a new battery. In some high-end EVs, the cost of replacing the battery can go up to Rs 10 lakh. Now imagine half the cost of the car is spent on the battery alone. There is no such risk in Honda's hyper-hybrid engine. Its battery does not have much load because this entire system is designed in such a way that the petrol engine and the electric motor share the work. The battery is used only when you start, drive at low speed, or do braking. Apart from this, the petrol engine keeps giving backup. This increases the life of the battery, and there is no need to replace it. Now let's talk about maintenance. People like EVs because they do not have things like engine, oil change, or clutch. Hence, maintenance is less. But the truth is that when something goes wrong in EVs, it is difficult to get parts, and the cost is very high. On top of that, for every small thing, you have to go to the EV service center, which is not available everywhere. This new hyper-hybrid engine from Honda changes the game in this case too. It has a petrol engine, but with so much technology that you will not need to get it serviced very often. And even when you need it, there is no special tension because Honda service centers are present everywhere in India, and their parts are also available at cheap rates. On top of that, Honda cars are considered reliable anyway. They break down less and last longer. Another special thing is that the hyper-hybrid engine has a self-diagnosis system. That is, even if there is a problem, the car itself tells what is the problem and where it is. This saves time as well as cost. It's clear EVs have a higher upfront cost. Charging is expensive, battery replacement is a headache, and maintenance, if any, is heavy. Honda's hyper-hybrid engine, on the other hand, is cheaper, charges automatically, is easy to maintain, and also saves petrol. Honda's global strategy. Where will this engine be launched? Absolutely. Below you'll find an 800-word paragraph written in simple colloquial language based on Honda's global strategy for hyper-hybrid vehicles, which explains where this technology will be launched first and how Honda is spreading it around the world. Now that Honda's new hyper-hybrid engine has been revealed and is grabbing everyone's attention, the question arises, where will Honda launch it first? Will these vehicles be limited to Japan only? Will they come to India as well? And will they also make a splash in big markets like the US and Europe? So let's understand Honda's global strategy in simple terms. First of all, let's talk about Japan, because Honda is a company based there and all its innovations come from there. Japan has always been the biggest testing ground for Honda. Honda's strategy is that it first launches new technology in its home market, i.e., Japan sees the response of the people there, then takes it to other parts of the world, and the same is happening this time too. Honda's hyper-hybrid technology has been first launched in Japan in vehicles like Accord Hybrid and Civic Hybrid. Now the question is, who is next? So Honda is eyeing the US market. The US is still the world's largest automobile market, and the government there is becoming very strict about the environment. Therefore, the demand for hybrid vehicles is also increasing there, especially among those who do not want to go completely on EV. Toyota Prius and other hybrid vehicles are already being sold there, but Honda is now entering that race with a new force. Accord Hybrid has already been introduced in the US, and it has received a very good response. Now, Honda CR-V Hybrid and Civic Hybrid are also being launched there. Next comes Europe. The matter is a bit tricky here. Europe has very strict rules and regulations for vehicles like CO2 emission limit, battery standards, and green tax, etc. But Honda is already active in Europe and has designed its hybrid vehicles according to EU standards. Honda plans to launch its hyper-hybrid vehicles in most countries of Europe by 2025, especially in those countries where the EV infrastructure is not yet fully ready. Now the most interesting question, will these vehicles come to India? The answer is yes, they will definitely come, but it will take some time. EV adoption is slow in India right now, and the charging infrastructure is also not fully ready. In such a situation, there is a huge possibility for hybrid vehicles. Honda is fully aware of this, so it has already launched a car-like city hybrid in India, and now it is preparing to bring this new hyper-hybrid system to India as well. If reports are to be believed, Honda can introduce Accord Hybrid and a new SUV in India with this technology. Another big thing in India is price and mileage. Here, the first thing people ask before buying a car is Kitty High, and this engine of Honda answers that question in a very brilliant way. Mileage is good, charging is hassle-free, and maintenance is easy. That is a perfect package for the common Indian customer. Now let's talk about the challenges, because it is not easy to implement new technology in every country. Every country has its own laws, different rules for testing vehicles, and different tax structures. Honda will have to make its engines meet all the standards, especially in countries like America and Europe. But the good thing is that Honda has a very good understanding of international regulations, and its team is already preparing vehicles according to global markets. Another big strategy that Honda is adopting is local production. That is, Honda is not just manufacturing cars from Japan and selling them to the world, but is trying to set up its own factories in every big market, like America, India, and Thailand, and do production there. This will reduce the price, save taxes, and customers will also get better local service. Honda is not in a hurry, but has very carefully planned for the long haul. First, it tested in Japan, then entered the US and Europe, and is now focusing on emerging markets like India. This shows that Honda is not just selling vehicles, but wants to take this hyper-hybrid technology to the whole world under a smart global expansion strategy. Now, the most interesting question is this: should Tesla, BYD, and other EV companies really be afraid of Honda? Can this new hyper-hybrid engine of Honda give them sleepless nights? So, the answer is simple: yes. And to a great extent, yes. Because if this engine comes into mass production and reaches people in a cheap, durable, and reliable way, then it can become a big blow for EV companies. Look what is the biggest strength of EV companies: good option for the environment, silent drive, and freedom from petrol diesel. But EV also has its biggest weaknesses, like expensive batteries, long charging time, low range in cold places, and poor infrastructure. And Honda has caught hold of these weaknesses and attacked them. Their hyper-hybrid engine has emerged as an option that not only competes with EV, but is also better than it in many cases. Now think, if a car is available that runs as silently as an EV, gives power like a petrol car, and there is no hassle of charging, will people go towards EV? This system of Honda charges the battery on the go. The mileage is also great, and the maintenance cost is also less than EV. So obviously, many people who were thinking of buying an EV will now once again look towards hybrid. Brands like Tesla and BYD are currently ruling the EV market, but they are completely dependent on batteries. Their models focus on technology and performance. But for the common man, affordability and practical use matter more. And that is where Honda has struck. BYD has built its own plug-in hybrids, but Honda's hyper-hybrid technology is 2 steps ahead of it, because it doesn't require charging, and there are no EV range concerns, and Tesla is not even in the hybrid game yet. So, if Honda launches its hyper-hybrid cars worldwide with good pricing and smart marketing, then the customers of EV companies may slowly shift. The real fear is that Honda is a brand that people already trust. From Honda Activa to Civic and City, every car has made its mark in the market. And now, if the same brand is coming up with a high-mileage, smart technology, and low-maintenance hybrid system, then new companies like Tesla and BYD are bound to be worried. If Honda's hyper-hybrid engine starts being made on a large scale and is easily accessible to the common people, then it can cause a big stir in the EV market. People will definitely look for the hybrid option before buying an EV, and EV companies will have to rethink their strategy. And to get such big technology and auto news first, do subscribe to the